Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about Never Let Go. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. So, this movie stars Halle Berry right here. She's been in quite a few movies. She's been around for quite a long time. Trying to find the first. I guess there was the Flintstones to a lesser extent, but first time where she was really, seen in a movie where people really noticed her. I say it was X-Men, where she portrayed Storm. That was her first big exposure. I guess there was Boomerang, but X-Men is far way more well known. So you had X-Men, Swordfish, Monsters Ball, which won her Oscar. Die Another Day, X-Men 2, Gothica. So Halle Berry was doing really well during this time. Then Catwoman happened, and I don't think I need to explain Catwoman. The movie's, oh my god, it's over 20 years old. Damn. Yeah, Catwoman was a disaster in concept and execution and box office. Man, kudos to Halle Berry for showing up at the Razzies to accept the worst. I think it was worst actress. It's either worst actress or worst picture, one of the two, where she actually showed up. So kudos to her. Yeah, Catwoman, that was a black mark on her career. Then after that, there was X-Men 3, which apparently, now that I know that she was low key, well, not even really low key, like she was basically tricked into being an X-Men 3 because they had a script where it felt like, where in that script, she had way more to do. There's a whole subplot with her and everything. But then I think Matthew Vaughn, the original director, he found out and he was like, "What the hell, man?" He was not happy about that. But Storm, she was basically it was her and Wolverine were the main two characters. Well, them and Jean Grey. Yeah, Storm had a prominent role in X-Men 3, but the fact that she was tricked into being in the movie by making her believe she had an even bigger role, that's pretty scummy. That's real scummy right there. Then after X-Men 3, I mean, what else has she been? The Perfect Stranger, the New Year's Eve, where she was just one face out of 30. Cloud Atlas, a movie I like quite a bit, but it was a total flop when it released. Movie 43, that's a movie that we really don't need to talk about. And besides, she was one face out of many. There's The Call, that was a hit back in 2013. Kidnap wasn't a huge hit, but it did way better than anyone anticipated. She was also in X-Men Days of Future Past, Kingsman Golden Circle, John Wick 3, Moonfall, well, I've heard a lot about Moonfall. I've never seen it, but I've heard the movie is pure madness. It is terrible, but in a great way. So one day I'm gonna have to experience Moonfall for myself to see if it really is a so bad it's good movie. But yeah, so Halle Berry, her track record is pretty solid for the most part. There are some duds in here, Catwoman, Cloud Atlas, Movie 43, a Moonfall, but her track record, I say, is quite all right. And I imagine she's the main reason why anyone even cares about this movie. So I say Halle Berry's presence is a pro. And what other pros do I have? Let me look at reviews. Its critic score is right above positive. We're talking 61, really 2 points away from going to rotten. But yeah, 61%. That's not the worst. That's barely passable. What's real bad is its audience score, which I'll get into later. But yeah, its critic score being just above passable. I'm gonna label that as a pro. Um, Shoot, are there any other pros? I don't know about direct competition. Like, I mean, I know for a fact the next big horror movie coming out is Smile 2. That's not till mid October. I'm pretty sure there's Terrifier 3, but that's way more niche. So, I don't know. I guess there won't be any like real like noteworthy horror movies until like October. So that's the advantage this movie has, I guess. So that's a pro, barely. And I think that's it with pros. Okay, cons. The audience score for this movie, it's bad. It is a 53%. That is terrible. That is deadly. So I need to know what the vibe is. I need to know what's going on. Why the score is so low. Okay. I'm looking at like the first page. Some 5 stars, threes, half stars. Jeez. Let's see. The first review is this is a 5 stars. It's definitely suspenseful, blend horror and psychological thriller. Movie keeps you on your toes through and through. I'm not sure what was going on with that sentence. There's a 1 star. It says it's just a bad movie. I went to support Halle. See, there you go. Right there. Evidence that people watch this movie for Halle Berry. The acting was pretty good. The story was confusing and not up to par. Watch it at home. Got 3 stars. Says took an hour before it got a little interesting. Oof, that is not what you want from a movie, especially a movie that's only an hour and 40 minutes. From what I'm reading, so the fact it's like over half the movie before it apparently gets good, that's a yikes. Says it wasn't really what I expected. Uh, the see the half star, awful. What did it even mean? Damn, this. Oof. What did it even mean? Please don't even watch for free when it makes it on Netflix. I would give it 0 stars, but I cannot. It's another half star. Absolutely sucked. No slaughtering or really any murder. It wasn't scary or weird unless you were like really new to films like this. No plot or understanding of how it all got started or the background of the mom. The ending sucked too. There was no context to the ending. Waste of money and time. Not worth it. Yeah, so another 3 stars. It says a solid film, nothing special. I wish there was more to the story. Overall, kept me entertained. 2 stars. Confusing, boring at time, but keeps you guessing. Another 3 star. Halle Berry is an awesome actress. I would agree. However, the movie is weird. 1 star. Awful movie, save your money. Another 1 star says major disappointment. Not only was it not scary, it was anticlimactic, uneventful, and slow. There's so much more that could have been done with plot development that's crazy. It was even produced and made the theaters. So, yeah. There's a decent amount of people who don't like this movie. They don't like the story, how it's paced, the lack of context. So, like, some people are just straight confused. That is the one, like, confused and bored are like the two emotions you do not want to have when you're watching a movie. Like, you could be like happy, sad, even angry, but confused and bored, that's death for a movie. No one's gonna want to watch a movie that's confusing or boring or both. Like, who wants to sit through that? So, yeah, audience reviews are pretty rough. Its cinema score is a C plus, which is actually pretty average for like a horror movie. Well, is this a horror movie? Yeah, it is. Well, a survival horror movie. So a C plus is about average on cinema score, but that audience score that tells me this movie is not going to have a long life at all. So yeah, terrible audience score, mediocre cinema score, cons, obviously. Another con is the fact that no one cares about this movie. Just straight up, no one cares. No one's talking about it. It's just there. It has no buzz or energy surrounding it at all. So, yeah, obviously that's an issue. So, just lack of overall buzz, that's a con. Another con is that, see, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I forgot which movie it was the trailer played in front of, but that's not important. What's important is that when I saw the trailer, in my mind, I was thinking, this looks an awful lot like A Quiet Place. And I know I am not alone in that, with that opinion, because just the way it looks, the way it feels, you could make the argument that it's a ripoff of A Quiet Place. I mean, that's probably that. I imagine that wasn't the intention, but that's just the way it looks, man. So, like, even if this movie was meant to be its own thing, if people see it as a ripoff, then that's it. That's what they're gonna believe. And yeah, just like the way it's presented and everything, I just thought of A Quiet Place. Like, this is just A Quiet Place light, and that's not good. That is not what you want. That's not what you want for your movie. You don't want your movie being basically looking like an inferior version of another movie. So, yeah, just the fact that this movie just feels too much like A Quiet Place. I'm not the only one who thinks this, but yeah, just that feeling, that vibe of being, a less quality version of another thing. That's a con. Another con is this Thursday previews. I wasn't expecting anything spectacular, but it only made like 360K. For comparison's sake, last weekend's, I gotta find it though. Yeah, last weekend's a Killers game right here, which I talked about. That had a Thursday preview. It didn't show it here, but it was like 300K. And Killer's Game only opened with like less than $3 million, about 2.7 million. So 360K is not a whole lot higher than 300K. So that paints a grim fucking picture right there. So, just really bad preview numbers. That's a con. Another con, Lionsgate. What is going on over there? Like, holy shit. It's like, I thought Disney's slump last year was bad. But Lionsgate, damn, son, where do I start with them? I mean, my God. I don't think they've had a single real. Well, I guess there's The Strangers Chapter 1, I guess. But I don't think they had a single like real hit, a movie that I can confidently say, "Yep, that's a hit right there." There's not one movie here that I can really say that about. It's not one. I guess there's Imaginary, but that's such a low bar. But a lot of these were like early in the year, like Arthur the King, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Unsung Hero, Ordinary Angels. I'm pretty sure most of you forgot these movies even existed. But what's really bad is what's been going on recently, last few weeks. Like, damn. Starting with Borderlands. As you know, Borderlands was an absolute disaster. It was one of the biggest bombs of the whole year. It had a very short life in theaters, and it's one of the worst reviewed movies of the year. And they have The Crow, which didn't do a whole lot better. In fact, it did a whole lot worse financially, not even making it to 10 million domestically. 1992, I'll give that a bit of a pass because that was barely released at all. It was only like 800 something theaters, so I'll give that a bit of a pass. Killer's Game, I'm giving no pass to that. Like, last weekend, Killer's Game only open, as I said, only opened like 2.7 million. The worst opening of Dave Bautista's whole career, and just an absolutely embarrassing amount for a wide release. So yeah, like what's happening? Like it's Lionsgate. They feel cursed. Like they really feel like they're cursed right now. Like nothing they do is going right. Not at all. Like when your biggest hit is The Strangers Chapter 1, that's a problem. That's a huge problem right there. So like I don't know what the hell's going on over there, but yeah, it's bad. It's downright abysmal. And it's not going to get a whole lot better next week with Megalopolis, which is widely expected to be another catastrophe, another box office catastrophe. I don't know about Whitebird, but I don't think anyone gives a damn about that movie. So, yeah, it's shit. It's shit for Lionsgate. It's absolute shit. I mean, like last year, they had John Wick 4, they had Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. What else do they have? Saw X, Jesus Revolution. Like last year was, all right. It was more. It was for the most part, it was pretty solid, I would say. So what the hell? It's like a big ass reverse. It's like a whole total 180 right here. So yeah, just Lionsgate's horrible 2024. I'm gonna label that as a con, obviously. And I think that's it. I think I covered all the main points. So opening weekend, uh what I've read from early numbers, it's saying that this will open with around like 3 to 4 million, which sounds about right. So I'm gonna go with that. 3 to 4 million. It's for its opening weekend. Its total, I don't think it's gonna hit 10. I feel like it's gonna disappear before it hits double digits. So yeah, and by like mid October, this movie will be like a memory, and that's it. So yeah, so let's Never Let Go. We only have two more movies to talk about this weekend. We have The Substance and Transformers One. So stay tuned for those. And yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage. All previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. You want to watch any of those videos? You can go right ahead. Let's see. Also have the canceled series where I made 250 episodes, all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I think I talked about Never Let Go. I will check. Yes, I did. I did talk about it. This was episode 242. I talked about Never Let Go and the same. Well, yeah, I talked about that along with The Crow, Saw 11, Trap, and the best Christmas pageant ever. So, yeah, that was the one and only time I talked about it. So if you want to watch that video or any other cancel episodes I made, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. My summer recap videos, winners and losers, that will be next week. Making those videos is going to be a bit of a pain because there's a lot to go over. So both videos are probably going to be maybe like an hour long each. Depends on how fast I can get through everything. So yeah, just letting you know, next week you will see two big old summer recap videos, the winners and losers. No middle part. There's no third part to this because I feel like I don't. I feel like a third part isn't really necessary. So only two parts, winners and losers. So stay tuned for those videos. But I guess my September recap, that'll be between the 4th and the 11th maybe a little after that, depending on how burned out I am after making those summer recaps. But the September recap, that'll be around early-ish October. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.